Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're going to dive into what it really takes to build a powerful AI agent that actually works in the real world. We're moving past all the hype and getting right into the nitty-gritty, the technical nuts and bolts. This is your blueprint for building something that actually works. So if you're thinking about building an AI agent, you're in the right place. We're going to go on a builder's journey here. And I mean that. Forget the high-level abstract theory for a minute. We're talking about the real practical challenges you are guaranteed to face when you try to pull that agent out of a Jupyter notebook and turn it into a real functional application. All right, so part one, the AI agent revolution. Now, before we get too deep, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. We need to lock in a couple of core definitions. And look, we're not aiming for some super academic, rigorous explanation here, just simple, practical terms that'll help us through the rest of this build. And honestly, it's really that simple. The agent, that's the brain, right? It's the part that makes a plan, that strategizes, and crucially, it knows what done actually looks like. The tools, on the other hand, well, they're the agent's hands and its senses. They are the actual actions it can take to go out and execute that plan in the real world. And that quote right there, that's really our goal for today. The whole point of this explainer is to give you those key insights, those practical hints that you're going to need to get over the common and, let's be honest, often super frustrating hurdles in agent development. We're here to help clear that path for you. Okay, moving on. Part two, equipping your agent with tools. And this is so important because an agent is only as good as its tools. I mean, its entire ability to interact with the world, it completely depends on them. So let's tackle challenge number one. How do you give your shiny new agent some actual useful skills? Right, so think about it. The world is just jam-packed with powerful services that all exist as APIs. We're talking everything from weather forecasts to your company's internal database. But here's the problem. A large language model on its own has no idea how to call them. It just speaks text. So how do we bridge that gap? How do we make our agent actually understand and use these external services? And this slide lays out the process perfectly. You start with what's called an open API specification. It's basically the instruction manual for a REST API. From there, you transform that spec into a schema that an LLM can understand, something called a function calling schema. And finally, you generate a programmable Python script from that. Simple, right? Well, a word of warning, this is almost never a one-click process. You're probably going to need to write some code yourself or use a specialized service that can handle this tricky translation for you. Okay, next big challenge, connecting your agent to the internet. Because let's face it, the web is the ultimate tool. It's the biggest, most current source of information on the entire planet. So, giving your agent the ability to search is probably one of the most common and flat-out powerful upgrades you can make. Now, how you do this really depends on your scale and, well, your resources. If you're a huge enterprise, you might build your own custom search infrastructure from the ground up. We're talking a massive data engineering project. Crawlers, parsers, search engines, the whole shebang. But if you're working on a personal project or a startup, using a dedicated solution like Tavily or Firecrawl is definitely the way to go. It's way cheaper, so much faster to implement, and just perfect for getting started quickly. All right, part three, the great build debate. So you've got your tools sorted out, your agent has skills, but now you're facing a really fundamental choice in how you actually build the agent's core logic. And this is a classic engineering dilemma, really. And what's so interesting here is the trade-off it presents. It really boils down to speed versus control. On one hand, you can use a framework like LangChain. The pro? It's amazing for fast prototyping. You can get something working very quickly with less boilerplate code. The con, though, is that it can be a nightmare to debug, and you're kind of stuck with the library's logic. On the other hand, you can do a custom implementation from scratch. It's slower to start, for sure, and you'll write more code, but you get total control. It's way easier to debug and to add custom features down the road. It's a huge choice to make. Okay, on to part four, unlocking advanced abilities. So at this point, your agent is built, it has tools, the foundation is solid. Now let's make it smarter. We're going to look at a couple of really cool architectural patterns and advanced tricks to make it more robust and way more efficient. So check this out. There's a software design pattern called port-in adapter, and it is so useful here. Just think of it like a universal travel adapter. Your main application logic, that's your phone or your laptop. And the different LLM providers, OpenAI, Gemini, Anthropic, they're all the different wall sockets you find around the world.
This pattern is the adapter that lets you plug your core app into any of them without having to change the app itself. It's all about being modular and basically future-proofing your entire project. Now, this is a really powerful idea. What if we turn personalization itself into a tool? So instead of your agent just using the tools you gave it, it actively creates a new one while it's talking to a user. With every single interaction, the LLM spots and saves key details about that person. The source calls these knowledge triples, data points. And over time, this creates this incredibly rich, personalized profile that makes every single future conversation deeply customized and way more helpful.
Okay, part 5, measuring success and cost. So your agent is smart, it's getting personalized, but is it actually any good? And maybe just as important, can you afford to run this thing at scale? This is where evaluation becomes just absolutely critical. You've heard it before. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it.
So, how do you evaluate an agent automatically? Well, trying to manually test every little change to a conversational AI is just painfully slow and super expensive. The modern, much more scalable way to do it is to use another powerful LLM to act as a judge. Yeah, an LLM as judge. You can use benchmarks like MTBench to automatically grade your agent's responses on things like quality, accuracy, and helpfulness. This lets you run tests really fast and consistently.
But what does that actually look like? Well, the source gives this great example. Set a budget, something like $5. That's it. By setting a really strict target, like, say, $5 for a full evaluation run, you force yourself to build an efficient and repeatable testing process. It's a really simple constraint, but it's brilliant for finding that crucial sweet spot between being thorough and not breaking the bank. So here we are, part 6, your agent builder's blueprint. We've walked through the biggest challenges and some really clever solutions that real-world builders are using right now. So let's pull it all together into one final, actionable blueprint.
And this is it. This is your blueprint. It lays out the whole journey.
First, give your agent tools by converting APIs and giving it web access. Next, make that big decision. Do you go for framework speed or custom control? After that, you level up with advanced skills like that personalization trick and the port and adapter pattern. And finally, and this is so important, you automate your testing with an LLM as judge. Your goal through all of this? Find that perfect sweet spot between low cost and high quality. This is how you build a great, real-world AI agent.
So, you have the blueprint. We've given you the map to navigate all the common obstacles. The real question is, what are you going to build first? The journey is all yours. Thanks for watching.